welcome back.
Up there, down here, over there, atmosphere is everywhere.
Woo! Science!
The Fantastic Five, superheroes of the atmosphere, protecting planet Earth from danger. Meet Exosphere, the top of the heap, living on the edge of outer space. Her atoms may be few, but they soar along, faster than a speeding bullet. Then there's Thermosphere. He may be thin, but he blocks out deadly gamma radiation, keeping us all safe. Meet Mesosphere, in the middle of it all, and the coolest of the bunch. She melts meteors and mixes things up with her powerful winds. Stratosphere takes heat energy from the sun and converts oxygen into ozone, blocking ultraviolet light in the process. Wow! Troposphere is the stormy one. She is our closest superhero who brings us rain, wind, snow, and all weather. The Fantastic Five. They take the fear out of atmosphere.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. We're free of the tow plane now. Hey, we're soaring high in the atmosphere. But as high as we are, we're still in the troposphere. The troposphere is where we live. It's a great place. It's a blast. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And down and up. What a blast! It's science! Ah, yeah, science!
If mountaintops are closer to the sun, why is it always colder up there than it is down here in the city? Well, please consider the following. Our atmosphere is thin, but it's thick enough to keep us warm. Now, when you're wearing a coat like this one, it keeps you warm because it holds air next to your body. The same thing with the atmosphere. There's more air above us when we're down here in the city than when we're way up here in the mountains. So it's like the world's low places are wearing more coats. They're wearing more air than these places up high in the mountains. Now, as you travel up through the atmosphere, it gets colder and colder because the air gets thinner and thinner until you're up around 10 kilometers. That's when you leave the troposphere and enter the stratosphere. Anyway, the rate at which it gets colder is called the lapse rate. And it's about 5.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer. So a mountain, say 3,000 meters high, let's see, that's about 10,000 feet, would be about 17 degrees Celsius colder than it would be down here in the city. And that's plenty cold enough for there to be a spring shower in the city while it's snowing up in the mountains. Thank you for joining me on Consider the Following.
Hi, friends. You say you're living on Venus and you're having a little trouble breathing that atmosphere? You need to come down and see me at Therm's Sphere of Atmospheres. Is this the kind of planet you're putting up with, friends? Breathing those noxious sulfuric acids? You can't breathe that. You don't need that. Get rid of that old planet. Come down and see me at Therm's. Take a look at this little beauty, friends. Only 3.5 billion years old. It's like new, and it's got a beautiful combination of oxygen and nitrogen that makes it just a pleasure to breathe. Now that is atmosphere, friends, and you're not gonna...
The atmosphere keeps the Earth warm in kind of the same way this jacket keeps me warm. Now, when an atmosphere keeps a planet warm, we call it the greenhouse effect. It's the same thing that keeps this greenhouse warm. It works like this. A greenhouse is covered with layers of glass. Light from the sun, the light that we can see, what we call visible light, goes right through it. It hits the plants growing inside and is given off as heat. Now, the heat doesn't go right through the glass. No, it's reflected back inside. It's bounced back in. And that's what keeps a greenhouse warm. The same thing happens on the Earth. But instead of a layer of glass, there's a layer of air, the atmosphere. So light from the sun goes right through the atmosphere, it hits the Earth's surface, and is given off as heat. The atmosphere holds the heat in. Now, without the Earth's atmosphere, the Earth would be very, very cold at night and very hot during the day. The atmosphere keeps everything kind of even and nice here. It's the greenhouse effect. You can see it. Oh.
great deal about the atmosphere we live in. The camera, speeding up the movement in the sky above, reveals restless forces.
Car exhaust is a big source of air pollution. A lot of the chemicals that go through a car engine don't get burned completely. They end up in the atmosphere, and then sunlight makes them corrosive. Since there's light and chemicals, we call it photochemical smog. It's bad. And I think your car needs a tune-up. There's another type of air pollution that we need to talk about that doesn't come from car exhaust. Now, it comes from electric plants where we burn coal to make electricity. Sometimes the coal has sulfur in it. The sulfur gets up in the sky, and when it rains acid rain. Sulfuric acid from the sky. Now, I'm going to mix a little sulfuric acid with sugar. Watch. Now, you have sugar in your body, too. And so do plants and other animals. Now, suppose you were trying to live in a lake, river, or stream where there was acid rain falling. Wouldn't be a good thing. That's why we call it pollution.
Pollution.
My name's Hillary Thrift, and I'm 16 years old.
I'm Dustin, and I'm 16 years old. I'm Josh, and I'm 17 years old.
I'm Carrie, and I'm 17.
Okay. I'm scared. Let's go.
We're making a skydive!
I like falling through the air with other people, looking over, seeing their facial expressions when your face gets blown back away from you from the wind. It's a lot like when you have your head out the car window when the air is blowing against you and you can't really breathe like that.
As you're getting higher, everything else below you is starting to look like little toys and little log houses and everything. It's really great.
We're gonna free fall in about a minute doing 120 miles an hour. Green light! Green light!
Through the atmosphere.
Yeah.
13,500 feet.
Above the ground.
The troposphere is only 10 kilometers thick. If you ran around a regular track 25 times and you were going straight up, you'd be at the top of the troposphere. Right, Coach?
That's right, Bill. You better get moving if you want to run the distance of the troposphere. Go, 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 go!
The troposphere is the part of the atmosphere where we have weather. It's where we have clouds and rain. Right, Coach?
Move it there! You're only halfway there! Move it, run, run, run!
The last 100 meters. Just enough time to tell you. As you get higher in the atmosphere, the air gets thinner and there's less oxygen to breathe. Right, Coach?
Good job, Bill. Now, we want you here bright and early in the morning. Tomorrow, I'm going to have you run the mesosphere.
Remember However, friends, I can't help you breathe any easier unless you come on down and see me today at Therm's Sphere of Atmospheres, open until the end of time.
Relax and relax, you have nothing to fear. Earth is protected by its own atmosphere. Breathe in, breathe out, can you dig it yet? Air around the earth keeps it warm and wet.
Let me lay this down, cause it ain't no job. Without the atmosphere, you wouldn't be alive.
Just a layer of air that surrounds the earth.
What's so important to life, you can't count its worth.
5.5 million billion tons weighing down on earth doesn't sound like fun.
But that's how much the atmosphere weighs.
It's an ocean of air, you'd be highly amazed. Relax and relax, you have nothing to fear. Earth is protected by its own atmosphere. Breathe in, breathe out, can you dig it yet? Air around the earth keeps it warm and wet. Now you know the air's not as light as a feather.
Chill out for a minute while we talk about the weather. It jams in the troposphere, that's the norm.
The atmosphere's bottom layer where the clouds can form. Water evaporates from oceans, lakes, and pools.
Warm air rises in the sky and then cools. Then the water comes down as rain, sleet, or snow. It's happening now, so me and home's gonna blow.
Well, that's our show. Thanks for watching. If you'll excuse me, I've got some stratus clouds to monitor. See ya!
Produced in association with the National Science Foundation.
A place like the moon doesn't have enough gravity to hold an atmosphere on its surface. So whenever we go there, we have to bring our own. That's why we wear these bulky suits. And my atmosphere in here is kind of warm. Is yours? Huh? Over there? Is it?
Now, when you're in outer space, like these guys were in Apollo 17, you've got to take your own atmosphere with you. Now, here on Earth, you know, we have about 100 kilopascals of pressure. Out in outer space, they only use about a fifth of that. But anyway, when you're flying around in outer space, you've got to keep the door closed. Did you guys grow up in a barn?
What a blast! It's so